Hey there, and a big over-the-top welcome to Gig.Game. I'm your host, bringing that charmingly sarcastic vibe to guide you through today's agenda. We've got two sizzling hot topics on the menu. First, unraveling the mystery of what Gig.Game is, and second, how you can use it to turn your parties into legendary game nights. And to show you how it's done, we're spotlighting our first ever game at launch, Mobo Bingo. It's not just awesome, it's awesomeness wrapped in a bingo card. So let's dive in. What in the world is a gig game? Imagine it as the lifeblood of parties, corporate events, charity fundraisers, or that unforgettable game night at your local pub. It's where you get to play the cool host and your audience becomes the stars of the show. And yes, bingo is our shining example. Through our Game Host Hub, which you can see right here on the screen, you'll manage the show like a boss. Your audience, they join in using their mobile phones. The best part, all our games are web-based. Say goodbye to pesky downloads and installations. But wait, there's more. Gig.Game, the brainchild of Gig.Game Corp, is your one-stop shop for hosting and running these epic games. It's the magic wand that transforms anyone into a game host, whether for fun or as a freelancing gig. And hold on to your hats, it's not just Mobo Bingo. We've got a lineup of future hits, including a trivia game with a twist called Would I Lie, a mafia-style role-playing murder mystery, American Sleuth, and a global mystery adventure, Once Upon a Crime. All these gems are crafted from a common framework by our multi-talented and only employee, Jason Bramble. He's our developer, sales guy, customer support, CEO, and even the janitor. Budget? Well, let's just say it's as expansive as his credit card limit, but hey, we're all set until 2026, so let the games begin. Alright, let's roll up our sleeves and dive into the world of game hosting with yours truly, Barney Banterblast, because let's face it, with a name like that, who needs an alias? Let's pretend I'm about to host the most epic game night at the Tipsy Tadpole Tavern. How do I pull this off, you ask? Buckle up, here comes the fun part. First, I head over to the website Gig.Game where the magic begins. Right at the top, there's this thing called the Game Host Hub. If it's your first rodeo here, don't panic. The site is less clingy than your ex. It just asks for any name and your number to set up an account. Easy peasy. Once you're in, boom, you land on the game browser screen. It's like the candy store of game applications, and right now, Mobo Bingo is the flavor of the month. But hold your horses, more games are on the way very soon. Now, my next move is to whip up a game event. A game event is like a party, corporate retreat, charity night for a non-profit, or that one time your Uncle Jerry tried to organize a family reunion, but forgot to mention it was at a llama farm. Surprise just like that, but with fewer llamas and more bingo. To start, I click Manage Games, and there it is. The treasure trove of info on games and a list of my gaming conquests, past, present, and future. Want to start a new one? Just hit Start New Game. For now, let's pick an event I've conjured up already, Cosmic Crusaders Bingo, and hit that Manage button. Welcome to the game event screen, where dreams and events come to life. Here you can dress up your event with a title, a snazzy description, and an eye-catching image. Is it a top-secret private party or a public bash? You decide. My gig at the tavern? Oh, it's as public as a celebrity meltdown. The where and when come next, because apparently people need to know where and when to show up. Who knew, right? Oh, and check out this photo gallery tab. We'll circle back to it, but it's where your players can snap and share photos. Think of it as free marketing material, courtesy of your attendees. Back to the info tab now, and here's the player game access. It's got a game code and a QR code, the keys to your kingdom. Players can either go old school and type in the code at play.gig.game, or get all James Bond and scan the QR code. You can also print it out for that retro vibe. It's like a secret handshake, but cooler. So we hop over to play.gig.game. First up, players enter the game code. Then they choose a username that reflects their inner spirit animal and provide a mobile number. No passwords here because who can remember those anyway? They get a special code on their phone, enter it, and voila, they're in waiting for me, Barney Banterblast, to kick off the greatest game night in history. So, what's next? How does the host kick off this party? Easy as pie. They just need to tap on the host control panel. This is like the secret door to Narnia, but instead of a magical land, It opens up the control room for our star attraction, Mobo Bingo. This is where you go from being just a host to a game wizard. Now, on the right, we have the player screen, eagerly awaiting the start signal. Quick recap. On the left, the host's command center, ready to launch this gaming rocket. But hold on to your hats, there's a third player in this game, the Game HUD. HUD stands for Heads Up Display, and it's what sets the Gig.Game platform apart from your grandma's bingo night. Imagine I'm at the Tipsy Tadpole Tavern with my laptop all set up. But what's this? A TV hanging up high, or low, or maybe it's just an extra monitor I dragged along. Hey, we're not picky. This TV or monitor is where I beam the Game HUD, the VIP of our show. It's like the billboard of your game displaying the nifty QR code for any wandering soul who wants to join. Plus, it flashes all sorts of fun game info. Let's hit the start button and watch the magic unfold. The HUD greets everyone with a friendly hello, signalling the game's beginning. Over at the host control panel, you can now see the roster of brave players who've joined, along with their playing cards and game progress. And drumroll please, the players' mobile screens light up with their playing cards. It's like seeing your favourite band come on stage, but instead of music, it's bingo. Let's jump into the shoes of a game host and start calling out those numbers, just like in a real game. Check this out. As I call out each number, it not only pops up on our game host panel, but also makes a snazzy little appearance as a pop-up on the player's mobile devices. It's like a high-tech game of telepathy. The numbers magically appear across all devices connected to the game. On the host panel, we get a neat history of all the numbers called, and the players' cards get updated in real time. But wait, there's more. This same call history also neatly lines up at the bottom of the players' mobile screens, so fear not, no number will go missed or unheard. It's always there, visually, like a trusty sidekick. Now let's turn our attention to the Game HUD on the TV. Notice how it's scrolling through the numbers called in the order they were called. It's like a mini news ticker, but for bingo numbers. We got a little trigger happy with the call button, so it's working overtime to catch up, showing the numbers in the exact order they were called. It's another cool way to keep your players in the loop. They won't miss a beat or a number. So now, let's see what happens when a user calls bingo. As you can see, when someone hits the jackpot with bingo, it's not just a little celebration on their mobile device. Oh no, it's a full-on broadcast on the Game HUD for everyone to see. Picture this, a scrolling text announcing Jason called bingo in all its glory. And if I hop over to the Winners tab in my host hub, the winner's name lights up like a neon sign. This tab is like a leaderboard, keeping track of who's coming in first, second, third, and so on. Especially handy if you're the generous type who allows multiple winners. It's also where you'll see who's the reigning champ of the game event. Now, let's dive into something that really puts Gig Games in a league of its own. We're going back to the Game Hub for this. Notice that little camera icon on the top left of our player's screen? Click that, choose a photo from your gallery, or if you're living in the 21st century, snap a pic with your camera. And then, watch as it pops up on the Game HUD displayed on our TV. It's a fantastic way to make your event more interactive and keep players glued to the game. Now, at a place like the Tipsy Tadpole, we might not be too picky about what kind of photos light up the screen. A little bit of mischief might even be encouraged if you catch my drift. But let's say my next gig is for the righteous and really reverent Church of Perpetual Prudence. They might not share the same enthusiasm for certain types of photos. That's where the moderation function comes in handy. It puts me, the host, in control. I get to be the gatekeeper, deciding which images get their 15 seconds of fame on the HUD and which ones get the boot. If a player sends another photo, I'm the judge, jury, and executioner, controlling what the audience gets to see. It's like having superpowers, but with less responsibility and more fun. Let's chat about how you can tailor this whole shebang to fit your audience and their unique needs. Take, for instance, non-profits looking to host a charity fundraiser using Mobo Bingo. It's like finding a golden ticket in your chocolate bar. So I've got this upcoming gig for the righteous and really reverent Church of Perpetual Prudence. They're all in for a fundraiser and think Mobo Bingo is the bee's knees for the job. Their brilliant idea, charge the players $1 per card. But how do we make this happen? By default, Mobo Bingo hands out 1 card to each player when the game kicks off. However, as the host with the most, I, Barney Banterblast, got the power to tweak this in the gameplay settings. I can hand out as many cards as I want, or plot twist, none at all. Let's flip the script and start a game without giving out any cards automatically. Now take a peek at what the player sees. Instead of a card, they get this message: please see the game host for a game card. It's like a secret invitation to a speakeasy. So our player, let's call him Jason, with his maxed out credit card, comes to me, the all-knowing game host. I take his hard-earned cash, then on my host control panel, I find his player name and hit Add Card. Bam! A card materializes on my screen, and just like magic, the same bingo card appears on his mobile device too. But hold on, Jason's feeling lucky and wants another card. No problemo. He hands over more cash, and I add a second card for him. Over on his device, a nifty little arrow appears, letting him toggle between his two cards. It's like giving him a double shot of luck. The best part? Mobo Bingo doesn't put a cap on how many cards you can dish out. It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet, but with bingo cards. Alright, hold on to your party hats because it's about to get a whole lot more interesting than your grandma's bingo night. We are about to spice things up with a little thing called word bingo. What's word bingo, you ask? Imagine playing bingo, but instead of those snooze-fest numbers and letters, we jazz it up with customized words and themes. It's like bingo got a makeover and is now ready to hit the town. And here's where we let our AI overlords have a bit of fun. Yes, AI has infiltrated the sacred realm of bingo. To get started, just hit AI Suggest and watch as a snazzy pop-up box appears. It's like a genie in a box, but for words. Type in any theme, from corporate jargon to your favourite Harry Potter spells, even your top potato recipes. The world's not just your oyster, it's your entire seafood platter. So, tonight I'm hosting a shindig for my buddy, Sir Chucklesworth the Giggly. Just a fancy nickname for an almost stranger. He's obsessed with his Potter movies. No judgment here, we all have our quirks. We're going full-on wands, wizards and wickedly wild shindig for his party, so naturally I pick Harry Potter as our theme. Bear with me. It's phoning OpenAI to churn out a heap of wizard-themed words, so it might take a hot minute. Feel free to grab a snack, but don't fear the brief pause. Once it's done, you'll see a magical list of Potter-esque words and phrases. I hit Restart to refresh the game with these new spellbinding settings. Notice how it smartly remembers players' card counts. It's like AI with a memory of an elephant. If you want to start from scratch, just end the game and restart. Check out the player's card now. It's a Harry Potter fan's dream, filled with themed words and phrases. Sir Chucklesworth will be over the moon, or should I say, over Hogwarts. Now, the How to Win setting lets you decide what pattern players need to complete for their bingo victory. From the classic lines to just filling the outer edges, you're the master of this bingo universe. And winners per game? Well, that's where you can spread the joy with multiple winners. Mobo Bingo keeps tabs on who's first, second, third, and so on. Feeling lazy, or maybe you're a bit tipsy? There's an automation feature for you. Set the time between calls, turn it on, and watch the game run itself. It's like putting bingo on cruise control. And for a real hoot, set it to rapid fire every 5 seconds and watch your players scramble. Need a breather? Just hit pause automation and take back the reins whenever you like. Alright, we're almost at the finish line of our thrilling journey together. You might be snoozing by now from all the electrifying details about playing bingo I've been dishing out. But hold tight, I've got one last game to share. Remember that bit about players sharing images with the Game Hub? If that slipped your mind, good news. You can always rewind this video. Let's hop back into the Host Manager and head to the Game Host area managing your event. Now let's dive into the photo gallery. Gig.Game stores all those pics uploaded during your event, perfect for jazzing up your social media marketing. Quick apology for the photos you're about to see. Our developer's been doing some testing, and let's just say their choice of sample images leaves something to be desired. But hey, it's what we've got. Oh, and check this out. Hit this button and you can download all those images in a hefty zip file. Watch it go. And that's a wrap, folks. You've just had the grand tour of the Gig.Game service and gotten a sneak peek at our star attraction, Mobo Bingo. I'm Barney Banterblast, your guide through this bingo bonanza, and I hope you've had as much fun as I have. As we part ways, may your dreams be filled with the sweet sound of bingo being called. Until next time, keep your doorbells ready and your wit sharp. Good night, and may your every day be a bingo day. Gig.Game was developed and is owned and operated by Jason Bramble and Gig.Game Corp. Gig.Game Corp is a subsidiary corporation of Spark Innovations Corp. Gig.Game and Mobo Bingo are both registered trademarks of Spark Innovations Corp.